Hello everyone, my name is Antonin Poché and I'm doing my PhD between the IRT Saint-Exupéry and the ANITI under the supervision of Professors Nicolas Sacher, Philippe Muller and Dr. Fanny Jourdan. I work on explainability of language models, which means to understand the decisions and the behaviors of language models. So I have two problems in my PhD. First, the models which are increasingly more complicated, and secondly, the humans which we are trying to communicate what's happening inside the models too. I will talk about concept-based explanations because I've mainly been doing my PhD on this for now. So what are concept-based explanations? I will take an example of the BIOS dataset. It's an NLP dataset where you have a paragraph, a biography, and you want to assign it the occupation, here, nurse or surgeon. There could be many concepts that the model used to understand these classes, and here are some examples. For the nurse class, we could have the feminine gender, the concept of care, hospital, and for the surgeon, something more like surgery and naturally the masculine gender. Here we can obviously see gender bias from the model. So this means that the models detect and uses such concept to make its prediction, and so we would prefer if it does not have such bias. We can also use this kind of concepts locally. By that I mean if you take a sample, here it helps after surgery. For me, it's a nurse, but for the model, because it sees the concept of care, but mainly surgery and masculine, it made 2 versus 1, so it predicts surgeon. And thus we can understand the model failure cases with such explanations. How do we obtain such explanations? I will go a bit quickly, so do not hesitate to ask me questions afterward. There are 4 steps. The first one is to split your model into, let's take 2 layers beforehand and 2 layers afterward. We pass a dataset through the 2 first layers to obtain a dataset of activations, and that's the first step. And then we learn patterns in these activations, and we call these patterns concepts. Here, the patterns are completely abstract, so we need to interpret them. Interpreting them is the third step, and we also want to estimate their importance and contribution to the output. That's the 4th step. All these steps and all the things I've presented till now are available in a library that we developed and which is one of the main contributions of my PhD till now. It's called Interpreto, and the goal is to bridge the gap between the available methods in the literature and what's actually accessible to practitioners. So it's an open source library to explain language models. I think I will conclude on this. Thank you very much.